Okay, let's dive into this. Dinosaurs. They rule the Earth for, what, millions of years?
Absolutely. The undisputed champs for an incredibly long time.
And then boom, gone. Around 66 million years ago. It seems so sudden.
Well, sudden in geological terms, yeah. But the big question isn't just that they vanished, it's how.
Exactly. How did these dominant creatures just disappear?
Hmm.
That's what we're digging into, based on the research you've got.
Right, focusing on the main scientific explanation that keeps coming up.
So the leading theory, the one with the most weight behind it, according to these sources.
It points pretty strongly to the asteroid impact theory.
An asteroid. Not just any asteroid, though, right?
Yeah.
This was big.
Oh, yeah, huge. The estimates are around 10 to 15 kilometers wide.
10 to 15 kilometers. That's like the size of a mountain hitting the planet.
You got it. Hurtling down from space.
And the sources pinpoint where it hit.
They do. Right into what's now the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico. It left a massive crater.
The Chicxulub crater. You can still see evidence of it today, can't you?
You can, yeah. It's a major piece of the puzzle.
Okay, so this mountain hits Mexico. The energy, I mean, it must have been unimaginable.
The sources compare it to billions of atomic bombs going off at once. Billions.
Wow. Okay, so that initial blast is catastrophic, obviously. But what happened next? The sources talk about the immediate aftermath.
Yeah, it wasn't just the explosion. Think massive continent-spanning wildfires.
Ignited by the heat and falling debris.
Exactly. And then gigantic tsunamis racing across the oceans. Far better than anything we've ever seen.
So fire and water.
Yeah.
But the sources also mention something more global, right?
Mm-hmm.
Something that affected the whole planet.
Uh-huh. The dust and debris, so much stuff got blasted way up into the atmosphere.
It had a huge cloud covering the Earth.
Pretty much, yeah. A thick global cloud that blocked out the sunlight.
Blocked the sun. Globally. For how long?
Potentially months, maybe even years. It triggered what scientists call an impact winter.
An impact winter. So freezing temperatures.
Drastic drops in temperature worldwide, yeah. But the bigger problem was the lack of sunlight itself.
Photosynthesis.
Exactly. Plants need sunlight to live. No sun, no photosynthesis.
So plants start dying off on a massive scale.
Right. And if the plants go,
The whole food chain collapses. Herbivores starve first.
then the carnivores that eat them, especially the big ones, like the large dinosaurs, they needed enormous amounts of food.
And suddenly there just wasn't any.
It vanished. The sources are clear. Food chains collapsed everywhere.
Leading to, well, the big extinction. How bad was it overall?
The estimate is nearly 75% of all species on Earth wiped out.
3/4 of all life gone. That's staggering.
It really is a profound reset for the planet.
So who made it through? The sources must talk about the survivors.
They do. Generally, it was the small stuff. Things like a burrow, things that could fly, things that didn't eat as much food.
Like early mammals.
Yes, mammals were among them. Small, adaptable, and also birds.
Birds. Right, the sources mentioned they're dinosaurs' closest living relatives.
That's the scientific consensus, yeah.
Yeah.
Direct descendants, in a way. Makes you look at pigeons differently, doesn't it?
Huh, kind of does. Now, what about other ideas? The sources mention things like volcanic activity, climate change.
Yeah, those ideas are out there, and the sources acknowledge them. There might have been other stresses.
What?
But the evidence points overwhelmingly to the asteroid impact as the primary trigger for this specific mass extinction. Its timing and scale just fit the evidence described.
So the rock from space is really the main story here, according to this research.
It's the explanation with the strongest backing, yes. It caused a sudden global catastrophe that lines up with the fossil record.
So thinking about the big picture, this one event, this asteroid, ends the age of dinosaurs.
Wipes the slate clean in a lot of ways.
And the sources suggest this actually paved the way for, well, for us, for mammals to eventually thrive.
That's the implication. By removing the dominant dinosaurs, it opened up ecological niches. It created an opportunity for the survivors, including our tiny mammalian ancestors.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
One catastrophic day changes the entire course of life on Earth.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? How a single event can reshape everything.
Yeah.